Officials are sounding the alarm ahead of New Year's Eve. Law enforcement agencies warning this week that large celebrations, including fireworks events, could be an attractive target for terrorists, saying there are no specific threats, but they are monitoring risks such as vehicle ramming attacks or the use of drones. And in New Orleans, city officials are requesting heightened security after the FBI stopped a threat targeting Border Patrol agents. Authorities say the suspect is allegedly affiliated with an extremist group known as Turtle Island Liberation Front, the same group tied to an alleged New Year's Eve bomb plot in Southern California. 4 alleged members of the group have been charged with conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction, providing and attempting to provide material support to terrorists, and possession of unregistered firearms. According to court documents, the defendants described plans they intended to implement following the New Year's Eve's bombings, including their plans to target U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agents, and vehicles with firearms and pipe bombs to take some of them out and scare the rest of them. And overseas, 7 countries are canceling their New Year's Eve plans, citing safety concerns.
So a heads up here for everyone out there that looks to go out and celebrate in public for New Year's Eve. They're saying these threats are all over the place. And again, New Orleans and Chicago at the top of the list here in the United States. But this goes for anywhere and everywhere out there at this point when you've got this many cities canceling celebrations and issuing these threats. So I'll leave a link. Join me for the live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I'm talking about this and a lot more.
All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. I'm the brother Dama Gabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, it's not going to be a long lesson, but as you can see, credible terror threats, major cities, are being, should be very cautious, which we always tell you, Jake, out there. First and foremost, we know a lot of this shit is psychological operations, and understand and know this. If there is a particular attack on civilians or one of these particular threats that happen, is more than likely being funded by the powers that be. Okay. It's funny how, they're always talking about these New Year's things could be, there's terrorist groups threatening to do this and threatening to do that, but they never threaten to attack the powers that be, right? It's always, we got to attack the civilians. We got to attack the people. We want to, they shouldn't have freedom or whatever the case might be. But then again, at the same time, hey, these devils could be telling you what they're going to do before they do it. And, it's always funny how, these, here it is, right? Just show you how stupid a lot of it is. And for you to believe that it's really some foreign entity here acting on behalf, of their own interests is very, very rare. But more than likely, it's all orchestrated and paid for. We know these devils need to bring the order out of the chaos. And it's funny how, they'll get these different organizations that they know are terrorist threats, and they always somehow manage to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. They have them, oh yeah, we're going to do, where's that part where they're saying that these groups were going to do this, they were going to do that, and what did they say, they were going to drop a pipe bomb or some shit. Where was that part at? See if their plans to target immigration and custom enforcement. So here it is, right? You got a enemy from within, but then you already know their playbook. They already told you what they're going to do before they do it. Just don't make no fucking sense whatsoever, man. It's just absolutely stupid. Any real enemy or any a person that's within that's a real enemy are not going to, put their plans, tell you their plans, what they're going to do and what they're planning to do before they do it. It's just stupid. Like I said, a lot of this shit is psychological operations. And at the end of the day, hey, a lot of this could be, this is the powers that be telling you what they're going to do before they do it. We know it's being used to strike fear into the people, to keep you afraid and to be willing to give away more of your rights to the government so you can feel safe, so you can give them more control. And that's really what a lot of this shit is all about, man. More of the pressure from above, pressure from below, for these devils can gain power. But at the same time, too, we're telling you, Jakes, not to be, out there on New Year's and Christmas, because basically it always goes back to some form of pagan worship. It all goes back to some type of pagan, heathenistic custom that's not your custom as being the Hebrew Israelites, man. Now, again, can bad things happen? Can the Lord send judgment, on these particular nights and on these particular dates? Can he put the spirit can he have the spirit of vengeance out there to have particular people do things? You might have Jake get in a fight, Jake starts shooting, it could be car rammings that's not necessarily, orchestrated or controlled, but just at any moment, we know that judgment can go out, man. And we're ultimately telling our people not to be involved in this shit because, first and foremost, it's paganistic. It's not scriptural, and it's not part of our Hebrew Israelite culture. And secondly, it's just more gathering of, it's just pagan, man. It's nothing more, but all New Year's is about fucking, goes back to that god Janus, the god of renewings. And ultimately, only thing that's really happening is a bunch of goddamn folly and wickedness and adultery and wickedness and lustful, lustful and nasty ass events taking place during these so-called New Year's, so-called holidays, man. And our people shouldn't have no dealings or no involvement in any of these things. You should stay your ass home because, hey, like I said, all type of judgments and things can happen that night. And as an Israelite, we just have no business being out there, getting involved in these type of things. So it's got a couple precepts, and I'm gonna close it. This is Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. You see, and these are evil times. And you saw a lot of those other countries outside of America was canceling their so-called New Year's celebrations because of so-called threats that they were receiving. Like I said, whether they're real or whether they're orchestrated, hey, things can happen. These devils could orchestrate some shit to happen on one of these cities and one of these towns on this particular night. And that's going to lead to real actual deaths. But we know in essence, it was really staged and orchestrated to get, these elites the upper hand, It says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Right. And one of the will of the Lord is not celebrating in these pagan heathenistic activities and customs of the people, which are vain. And like I said, what's going to happen on New Year's night? Just a bunch of bullshit, nastiness, sluttiness, whores, homosexuality, lustful endeavors, orgies, revelings, drunkenness, fights, foolishness, unalivings, a lot of sacrifices, blood, blood drinking, all type of madness happens on New Year's Eve, man. So as being a righteous man or woman of the Most High, we don't partake in these things, man. And we understand that, hey, the judgment of the Lord could definitely take place if you find yourselves out there knowing you ain't supposed to be out there, man. And it says, and be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit, you see. And what is New Year's? What's a heavy part of New Year's is heavy drinking, drunkenness, man, revelings. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of adultery committed. A lot of these women going to take girls trips, go out with their girls, cheating on their husbands, wives cheating on their husbands cheating with women that are married. Just all type of folly and wickedness take place on these so-called holidays, man. You see, and it's a perfect opportunity for these elites to stage some of these situations to, forward their agenda. It says, and be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your hearts, giving thanks always for all things unto the Most High, the Father, in the name of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right. And I got one more. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1. It says, for as much then as the Mashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin, that he should no longer live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but the will of the Most High, you see. And this is what New Year's is going to be about. A lot of people, enjoying their time in the flesh and to the lust of men and women, man. Like I said, this is what New Year's is really all about. So is giving yourself over to the lust of the flesh, man. Like I said, you're going to have a lot of women who never was with women. That New Year's might be the night where she indulges in that, and vice versa. A woman who may not have ever committed adultery might be out there that night and commit adultery. You're going to have a lot of Jake in Atlanta and in different parts of the country that's going to be going to these New Year's orgy parties, all type of wickedness. Like I said, drunkenness, wickedness, revelings, unalivings, all type of bullshit. And it's all being done, under the spirit and guise of pagan worship, man. New Year's goes back to a worshiping of particular gods, and those gods require particular actions and things that you do to commemorate or pay homage to these guys. And a lot of it is drunkenness, orgy, sex, wickedness, rituals. You know what I mean? All type of bullshit. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't be, being a partaker of this shit, because we all know it all goes back to some form of pagan worship. It says, for the times past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, wherein we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. And this is what this New Year's is pretty much all about, man. Walking in the spirit of heathenistic customs, man. And what does it say? Lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, man. And that's what New Year's is really all about at the end of the day. You see? And that's why when you become a new creature in Hamashiach Yahushua, hey, we put off these things. You're not going to find us out there in the midst of Times Square, or somewhere in downtown Hollywood or downtown Atlanta or wherever in your major city where these revelings and banquetings and lusts of the flesh on this New Year's Day is going to be taking place, man. Because we know ultimately it's not the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and ultimately we know the origins of it, man. And we know also that your enemy as a roaring lion is out there in the midst, trying to seek who he can devour and establish T attacks and set up particular situations to happen to where his agenda can be forwarded, man. So it's just not a good look, point blank period, man. It says, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Right. So doing this video alone, these people are going to talk shit, call you a hater. Oh, you ain't got no life. You just whack, you boring. The Most High is stopping me from having fun. You know what I mean? That's your opinion. Keep your opinion to yourself. I ain't stop trying to push your God on me and your beliefs on me. You know how Jake get down, because ultimately they're always willing to justify their wickedness, and ultimately they'll do anything to live after the lust of the flesh, man. And you got a lot of Jake who is chomping at the bit to go out this so-called New Year's Day and go and party and bullshit and get drunk and hopefully go out and the niggas' plan is to go out that night, get so drunk that they don't remember what the hell happened. You're going to have a lot of grapings taking place. A lot of people getting laced with Molly and all type of shit is going to take place on that idolatrous festival night of so-called New Year's, man. It says, let me see. It says, oh, what the fuck? No. Yep, it says, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? Right. And like I said, these people that know about this truth, that know that New Year, and a lot of these people that celebrate, they know that New Year's is pagan in origin, just like they know Christmas is pagan in origin. But guess what? A lot of these jakes don't give a damn because they just want to do what they want to do, But at the same time, you're going to have a lot of these Christians out there claiming that they believe in God and love Jesus, and I'm a child and daughter, I'm a son and daughter of God. But they're going to be out there on New Year's reveling in this wicked, idolatrous so-called unholy day. You see, it says, for this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Spirit. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. You see, but these jakes ain't living sober lives. They can't wait for this Thursday or whatever New Year's is to come in so they can go out here and revel and be a bunch of damn demons, man. They're probably out here shopping for their New Year's outfit even as I speak, man. Here it is in the midst of all of these warnings, in the midst of all of these so-called terrorist attacks, even though countries are shutting down and not celebrating their New Year's so-called countdown because of potential terrorist attacks. You're going to have a lot of people that's going to say, I don't give a damn. I want to go party and bullshit and get drunk and do what I want to do, not even knowing they're in the midst of some bad shit happening, man. So I'm just going to close it there. Let that be that, man. Hey, so, hey, be circumspect, man. We'll definitely be in the house that night. I ain't going to be out doing a goddamn thing, but hey, for everybody else out there, hey, do you, man. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. Give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Until the next one, shalom.